Welcome back to Country Dance Spotlight. I'm your host, Rob Ironside. I'm the president and one of the teachers for the Country Pride Dance Club. And I just want to welcome to today's podcast. I believe this is podcast number 12. And today we're going to be talking about why have a dance team. I'm going to start with a little bit of history with Country Pride and how we got started. You'll notice today it's just me. Stuart's not here, but he'll be back for the next ones. So just wanted to start. The club has been around. This is our 30th year anniversary in 2021. We started the dance team up a little before that, but we incorporated it as a nonprofit 30 years ago. And so this marks our 30th anniversary, which is pretty special in itself. Why have a dance team? And if you look back when we started and compare it to other dance teams that were around at the time, a lot of dance teams were specifically designed and with the idea in mind that they were competing. That's not with where we're at today. So if you're watching this wondering if you should get involved with our dance team, the focus is more to do promotional work in the city to promote and advertise the club and what we do and attract members to our lessons and just have a lot of fun. When we first started back in the early days, there was a lot of festivals happening and competition was the real focus instead of doing demonstrations. And so back when Country Pride started, there was probably in excess of a dozen dance teams in Alberta. Sadly today, I think we're maybe one of only 2 or 3 that are left in Alberta. And I guess part of that is due to our members and our board of directors that we've had involved with the club over all these years for our longevity. And I just, I really want to acknowledge all the effort that everybody's put into the club over all these years. As I mentioned, the dance team is out to promote different things that the club does, and it really is also to challenge our members to keep learning. Our dance performance consists of 10 different dances, and when people get involved with the dance team, they are going to be taking their dancing to the next level compared to just taking our general lessons. And they do practice it. We include the lessons that we teach for the team as part of your membership, so it's free. Plus, there's a lot of other benefits that I won't get into today. But as far as belonging to the team, your outfits are paid for. There's no cost to that. And because we talk about the team as being a promotional tool for the club to advertise Country Pride, we can afford to do that because we budget for it. So the thing that we do, the shows and experiences that people will have is really unparalleled to anything else that you could do as a single individual. We do shows and have all kinds of experiences that you wouldn't have a chance to do otherwise, and we have so much fun doing it. I'm going to go through some of the history and some of the teams that we did, or some of the shows that we have done, because it's really incredible. So when we first started off as a competition team, when we were going to dance festivals, we really did have a smaller number of people involved. And so it was very demanding as far as learning the routine and trying to keep up to doing that. The burnout and turnover of the team was a lot higher than it was if we were just doing casual, performances. So it really did make a difference when we changed that shift from competition to a performance team and not having to worry about, having to go to the next competition. Because when we were first competing, one of our very first competitions was in Edmonton in 1989, and we actually took first place at the Canadian Finals. That's what they called it. It was the only dance festival in Edmonton at the time. But it was in 1989, we practiced hard for it, and we took first place. And so we were extremely proud of that. And that really did kick off and get the ball rolling for the club. It created a lot of very positive momentum for the competition team. So from there, we ended up traveling to Edmonton and Calgary for their events as well. In the future, the Edmonton River City Dance Festival and the Calgary Country Dance Stampede. Also, there was an event in Saskatoon that we went out to and supported them. Also, Cowichan in BC, Portland in Oregon, and the team did make it eventually to the finals in 2001 and placed, I believe, 4th in the division that they were in. I wasn't dancing on the team at that time, but again, it was a big accomplishment, and that was always one of our dreams, was to have the team go to the world competition. So as you can well imagine, in that time period, from 1989 to 2001, there was a lot of turnover. I was one of them. I didn't end up going to Worlds in 2001 because it was a lot of practice, and it was a lot of learning, and it took a big commitment. So at one point, we decided that we really needed to change the focus as far as the team was concerned, and not just focus on competition. So for longevity's sake, we had to make a change. And so at one point, we actually had a performance team and a competition team. So there was 2 pieces to it at that time. And that was good because then the people that were just part of the performance team, their commitment wasn't as much. When we were part of the competition team and we were getting ready to go to, different dance events in Edmonton and Calgary, it was such a big commitment because we ended up having to practice 2 and 3 times a week, and sometimes even more, because it was getting geared up to do a show that we may have not have done before if we added new material. So not everybody could do that long term. There was many teams at that time, and I'll just kind of go through this a little bit. They would focus, or they would actually start up a dance team at Edmonton and Calgary with the idea that they'd go to Worlds, but then after that they disbanded. And that's kind of sad. Those teams are no longer around. They did accomplish what they wanted to do, but like I say, it was a lot of work, and the commitment level was very high. So they didn't want to continue after that was done. So when Country Pride made the shift to have a performance team and a competition team, that did give people the opportunity to still stay involved, but not have to worry about competing and not having to practice nearly as much. So fast forward a number of years into 2010-ish, but over the last 10, 12 years, we have not had a competition and a performance team. There was a couple years there we didn't have a team at all prior to 2010 because people just got tired. And so we started the team up again with the idea to just do performances and make the commitment level whatever people wanted to commit themselves. We said it's up to you, you can come and go. So this had some pluses and minuses, obviously, because if you had a competition team, people knew their spot on the team, they knew exactly where they needed to be, and so you would just practice that over and over and over. But if that person wasn't there, then it caused a problem because other people didn't know that part of the routine. So having a routine that is a little bit more generic and people can come and go, it's not as hard of material, which is good. It might not be quite as showy, but for the sake of performances, it was very good, and people still really enjoyed it. So when we're doing our shows, we demonstrate all the 10 different dances that we do. We demonstrate two-step, we demonstrate waltz, polka, line dancing, East Coast, West Coast, jive, waltz, cha-cha, and I think I'm missing one. Pony, I think, is the other, pony swing. So that's a lot of different dances for people to learn. And some people get involved with the club and they just see us practicing, and we encourage them to come out and they hop right in. So some people, after a few dance lessons, they might learn the two-step, or they might learn West Coast swing, and then they decide that they want to get involved. And we encourage that, because if we are out doing a show and they know how to do a line dance or two, we ask them to get involved and they can step up and do that. When we do different kind of shows in the community, they don't need to know our full-length routine. We've added to our repertoire over the years, and we started with just 1 or 2 songs, and then we added to it because different promoters wanted us to have a 20-minute routine that we would get paid to do, so we had a 20-minute long routine for that, and we still do, and we still perform that. As I'm recording this, we're kind of coming to the end of the COVID-19 restrictions, and so in 2021 we haven't done a whole lot of shows yet. In fact, we haven't done any. In 2020 we did do a couple that were kind of isolated, but we look forward to being involved this year with the Westerner and the Canadian Finals Rodeo, so that's exciting. So the performance team definitely is less commitment. If we're getting ready to do a big show, then we end up trying to, get more commitments from people and have a few more practices. But it's definitely more stable as far as having people be involved for a longer period of time, because they could go away. We have a couple people that go south for the winter, and they come back 6 months later and they hop back into the team, and that's great. We're always adding material to it, whether it be our international West Coast swing rallies. We use that material to add different numbers that we do all the time. But as it stands right now, we have all of those, that 15-minute routine, plus we have a West Coast swing Canto 150 routine. We know a lot of different line dances that people can do, and we have some international West Coast swing flash mobs or rallies that we also perform. So it's just a lot of material, it's a lot of fun, and you get to dance and show off in front of a lot of people, and everybody really enjoys and appreciates the shows that we do. So I'm going to go through some of the shows that we have done, just because in retrospect, getting ready for this podcast, it brings back a lot of memories, but it's also incredible to think of the experiences that we've had. And I'm sharing this with you just because we never know where we're headed from this point forward in the future and the shows that we'll be involved with. And I would just encourage new people to hop on board and see where it goes. So I'll start with some of the shows that we did. We've opened for the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band a number of times at the Centrium, also with the Big Valley Jamboree. We did that with the Ivan Danes Picnic. We opened for Pam Tillis and Michael Martin Murphy. At times we've been involved with other clubs in Edmonton and Calgary. We're part of the halftime show for the Grey Cup. We've done countless parades. Back in the early days, when the club first started, we would do parades in Rocky and Sylvan and Lacombe and Innisfail, as well as Red Deers. We've been doing Red Deer now again, and people remember us as, dancing with the pink and black, but now they just remember us as being the dancers. Community events such as barn dances, when we're downtown with Westerner Days, or family dances, we've done demonstrations for. The Big Valley Jamboree was a real experience. That was so much fun because it was a long weekend type of thing, and we would do demonstrations in the beer gardens, open for different acts that were in there, get to meet some of the performers because we were considered performers ourselves, and that was just amazing. So the Big Valley Jamboree, we did it in both Craven and Camrose. I believe it was for 4 years that we did that. Then we've also done stuff locally here for the mayor. We've done different kind of meet and greets with foreign dignitaries, kind of sister city type stuff when we've gotten together and showed them a brief little dance lesson. We've done it for conventions, baton championships that have come into town. We showed them how to dance, and then we got together with them afterwards. But again, local events like Westerner Days, the Pancake Breakfast, that kind of stuff, Pinoca Rodeo, I've mentioned the Canadian Finals Rodeo again, and the Harlem Globetrotters. We did a show with them during the halftime, and again, doing it in the Centrium, and we didn't get to meet the Globetrotters at that time, but even still, it's neat to say that we were there and got our pictures taken with them. So, and one of the biggest highlights, a show that we've done, is for the Canadian Winter Games in 2019. That was a show that when they first approached us to do it, they just wanted us to demonstrate something that was more country western. And I said, of course we would do that. So when they first talked to us, they said, well, we'd just like you to do a little bit of two-stepping. We thought it would be in the background. But it ended up being a full 3-minute and 30-second, I think it was, or 3-minute and 17 seconds of material that we ended up working with other dancers. We were on 2 different raised platforms plus dancers on the floor. We had 38 people that did that show, and it was a new choreography that we put together, my wife and I, for the club and for the team members. And everybody did fantastic. We were so very, very proud of everybody that did that show. And it took our club to a whole new level as far as recognition is concerned here in Red Deer. Now, if people, I sit on a number of boards with the Red Deer Arts Council, with the Red Deer Cultural Heritage Society, and if people think of an event that's happening, and this just happened for us getting back involved with the Westerner Days and the CFR this year, is, oh, you need to call Country Pride because they'd be involved or they'd be interested to dance. So we have that recognition within the city now of being performers that events and organizers can go to be able to get people out to dance. And one of the biggest things is we create an atmosphere. We go out there, we have fun ourselves because we love to dance, and it's infectious. Other people, if they just want to be entertained, that's great. They just sit back and watch and enjoy. Or they join us and do some line dancing with us. Or they might come out and, check out our lessons and get more involved after that. I just want to end this podcast by saying you never know where dancing is going to take you. And for me personally, being part of the dance team has been so rewarding. It's been more rewarding than becoming just a performer with one partner. Some people went on to become competitive couples. But the camaraderie that we have by being part of that team, the lifelong friendships I've made through the club, I hope you get to experience that with Country Pride and meet some people that you become friends with. I met my now wife through dancing, and you meet so many good people that you just end up becoming, like I said, lifelong friends with. So a very, very proud moment for me and my wife was because we were involved with the club for so many years. Like I say, this is now our 30th year. My wife and I in 2016 were recognized with the Mayor's Award for Community Builder. The city recognized that Country Pride does make a contribution to the city through the efforts that we do in the community, promoting culture and dance and involving everybody. Through our lessons and our dances, we've touched the lives of thousands of people, and it's hard to describe how cool that is. And the team is a way for us to be able to do that. So this gives you a bit of an overview of the dance team, how we got started, why we got started, and where we're at today. Like I say, we're here in the community to promote dancing, to promote what our club is about, show people how to dance and come out to our lessons, and just to have a lot of fun and give people experiences they wouldn't have a chance to otherwise. So my sincere hope for you is that you'll ask some questions. Don't be intimidated by watching us dance. All of us got started. We were not professional dancers. We just came out to some lessons, and then we caught the bug, and then we wanted to be more involved. And you might do the same thing and end up having some of the crazy experiences like we've had that we haven't even dreamt of, like we've had in the future, or had in the past, we'll have in the future. So, please ask questions. Know that you can get involved just on a casual basis. Come out when you can. Learn parts of the routine as fast or as slow as you want. And, join the fun. So that is going to conclude today's podcast. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks very much.